All right, are we on? Good morning. Good morning. Can you say road trip? We're having a little road trip this morning. I'm up at Galena Park, and it's not quite early, but not too late. And it's beautiful. It smells so good. It smells so good to be up here. So, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Tim. And I do have my coffee cup. Even up here, it's just beautiful up here. I have a sip. So this morning, I think I want to talk to you this morning about laying up for yourselves treasures in heaven. And this idea that, are we going to really believe God? Are we really going to take and believe the things that God has said? This life is just a vapor. It's not even, can't compare it to eternity. We cannot compare this life to eternity. And the only thing that we take out of this life, you can't take anything you've accumulated, you can't take anything you've ever done with you. The only thing you can take out of here is the people. The people that you've brought to Christ, the people that you've encouraged. And I don't know, I kind of think sometimes that it's like a giant pyramid where if the more people you invest in, and then they influence other people, and then they influence other people, and somebody comes to Christ. I don't know how far back up the chain God goes to give credit. I expect that He's a gracious and merciful God, and that we're going to get a lot of credit for things that we don't even know we did. You know, little things that we thought were insignificant are going to have great value to God. So, do you really take God seriously? Or are you laying up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust can come in and steal and break down and destroy? Of what value are you investing your time and talents? And it's so easy. It's so easy to be caught up in the game, especially when you're younger. You got kids to raise, you got things you want to do. A lot of people have a bucket list. And you know what? You can spend your time and your money trying to achieve that bucket list. And I don't think you're going to remember it when you're going to get to heaven. It's of only value for right now. It's building your life on sand. And it's not going to last. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go out and do things that are fun and try to have some goals to accomplish. But just remember that the things we do in this life aren't going to last. They're really of no lasting, significant value. So I don't know how much of our church meaning the church on the earth, not just Valley View, but the bigger church, where we're at on taking Jesus seriously. When He says, do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth, where rust, whatever, you know the whole thing. I can't even say it this morning. I'm kind of goofy. So you got that going on. And I just wanted to challenge you to think about that. And another one that matters to me, that's really influencing my life lately, and I actually have my phone that's going to work this morning. This is in Luke chapter 19. Therefore he said, a certain nobleman went to a faraway land to receive for himself a kingdom and then return. We know who that is, right? And calling 10 of his own slaves, he gave them 10 minas and said to them, do business until I come back. But his citizens detested him, and they sent a delegation after him, saying, we don't want this fellow to reign over us. And we know who that is. When he returned after receiving the kingdom, he called for those slaves to whom he had given the money. He wanted to know how much business they had done. Now the first appeared, saying, Master, your 1 mina has made 10. The master said to him, Because you were faithful with so little, take charge over 10 cities. Also the second slave came, saying, Your mina, master, made 5. Then he also said to this one, You are likewise over 5 cities. But another came, saying, Master, here's your mina. I was keeping it safe in a handkerchief, for I was afraid of you, because you are a strict man. You take what you did not make and reap what you did not sow. He said to him, By the words of your own mouth I will judge you, you wicked slave. You knew that I am strict, calling for what I did not make and reaping what I did not sow. Then why didn't you put my money in the bank so that when I came back I could have collected it with interest? Then to the bystanders he said, Take the mina from him and give it to the one who has 10 minas. But they said to him, Sir, he has 10 minas. I tell you, to everyone who has, more shall be given. But from the one who doesn't have, even what he does have shall be taken away. But those hostile to me, who didn't want me to reign over them, bring them here and execute them before me. Well, that's a lot of heavy stuff there. First off, we want to make sure that we are not the ones who are saying, don't reign over me. So if you've never come to Christ, if you've never said, Jesus, I want you to be my Lord, then you're saying, I don't want you reigning over me. You're in danger. You're in danger, my friend. You better consider that. And for those of us who have said, Jesus, yes, I want your salvation. I want you to be my Lord. How serious are you taking him? Are you really sewing up things that are going to last? Now, it's not just the money that we were talking about here. Everybody has money, and you can do what you want with your money. Where are you going to invest it? Where are you going to invest the money God's given you? How much are you investing into things that will give eternal value? But it's not just the money. God's given you, another translation says talents. And it's whatever God has given you. Whatever God has given you. Everything he has given us, we should be using for his glory. Some of it we can enjoy. It's given to us to enjoy, but not just for ourselves. It's for his pleasure too. So, man, I think I've been given a gift of teaching. I didn't want this gift. If you want to pick a gift, I don't think teaching is the one you should pick, because you're going to get a stricter judgment. And I don't want that. I'm having a hard enough time dealing with just life, let alone being responsible for my teaching. And I got to preach last Sunday, and even there's a couple things I wish I would have said it differently. In my video, I made Coffee 3. There was something afterwards that Geneva and I were talking about, and I realized, you know what? That wasn't right. So, man, the heaviness I take teaching is incredible. It's a burden. It's a heavy burden. It's a blessing and a burden. And I don't want to be screwed up. I don't want to screw up anybody else. So I wouldn't have asked for teaching if I was picking my gift. But here's the thing. If I don't do it, if I don't use my talent, I put it in a handkerchief and I buried it in the ground. And then I'm just going to lose it. Not only am I not going to get the glory, the benefit, the prize of using my gift to serve God, the reward that comes with that, and the fruit that comes with that for eternity, he's going to take it away, and I'll be more than ashamed. So, my only choice, really, the only choice that makes any sense to me is to use what he's given me. But I better be diligent. And so I need to up my game in my studying, in my fact-checking, and my research, so that I don't have to eat my words later. I don't want my words are gross when I eat them. I've had to eat them before. They're not good. But that's just me. That's my gift. But there's what gift do you have? What gift do you have? And how do you know what gift it is? And it took me a long time to figure out what my gift was. But it's in you. It's what you are inside. When the Spirit has given you a gift, that's what you want to do. That's what you are. It's just your motive, and the supernatural ability that it comes with that matches your motive inside, I can't help but be a teacher because it's in me. I can't help it. So, what can't you help? What is it that just wants to come out of you all the time? So it's not money, also, but it is money, but it's not only money. It's also what kind of spiritual gift you've been given. It could also be things that you have been given that would appear to be natural gifts in a way. Maybe you have a musical ability. Maybe you're good at art. Maybe you have other kind of, you know, skills that God's given you. They've been in you. Everybody, people aren't saved have them. But they're giving them to you for a purpose. What are you going to do with them? How are you going to glorify God? How are you going to serve God in that? And there's a lot of things that God's given people to do that wouldn't be glorious things. They're not, they're not not everybody's the head, not everybody's the eye. The body is many parts. There's a thumb, there's a heel. There's some pretty ugly parts on a body, but they're essential. They're essential. And they're not going to get the glory up front, but they're going to hear it from their master. They're going to get the glory from the master because they're faithful with their mina. You can't pick your mina. You got the mina that you got. It's a grace of God. It's a gift of God. The mina that you have. And so how do you do it? What are you going to do? And many of us, I'm one, I wasted my mina. I've wasted so much money. I've wasted so much time. I continue to waste more time than I want to. It's very difficult to have a balanced focus and a discipline. And the world's out to distract you, the devil's out to distract you, and your own flesh wants to lead you away. So we have this threefold enemy that's out to keep us from having our focus. The place we're going to get our focus is in the Word of God and with people of Christ in the church. I can do nothing without Christ. That's what he said, and I'm beginning to understand that. That's true. He says, abide in me. And the only way I can abide in him is to put his words deep in me all the time. Continue to refresh my mind, renew my mind with his words. And then pray. And not just think about myself, but think about my church, my brothers and my sisters. Think about what he says, I've been praying for Donald Trump lately. I've been watching a lot of the Fox News. And I've never been a news guy, and I really wasn't a Trump guy. But seeing what he's gone through and seeing the obstacles against him and seeing how, I'm not sure where his faith level really is, but the responsibility he faces. And overall, I think his general direction is good for us. I'm really praying for him. Really praying for him. Guys, this time is short. My life's almost over. I might have a couple of years. All I have is right now, right? All I have is right now. That's all you have. Thanks for spending your right now with me. And I hope that you take a moment and take stock of your choices, of your values, of where you're spending your resources, your time, your money, the gifts God's given you, and how you can employ them for his glory. Not for your glory, not for your fulfillment. Although when we're serving God, when we're obeying him, when we're putting him first, we also receive great benefit from that. It's fulfilling to us. It might be costly in some way, but it's also very fulfilling to us. When you're doing the thing you're made to do, you're happiest. It doesn't matter. Your bucket list might be to go to every baseball stadium in the country and watch one baseball game. You know what? That's really, what good is that going to be? It might be kind of fun, but you spend a lot of time and money to do that. And you're going to have, I think, all of our work's going to be judged, by the fire, wood, hay, and stubble, gold, silver, and precious stones. I think that going to all the baseball games is going to be wood, hand, stubble probably. You know, I don't know. I'm not the judge. But you need to check yourself. And the time to check yourself is now. Because whether it's today when Jesus comes, if he comes today, or whether it's the end of your life, which you don't know when that is, you're going to give an account. You're going to give an account. And I have so much shame in my life. There's going to be a big bonfire when my works are judged. And I used to be thinking that if I had a couple of pieces of glitter come through the fire, I would ask the Lord not to blow really hard on the ashes because I wouldn't want my glitter to blow away. But as God has been merciful and good to me, and as I put him first, and he's done amazing things, changing my life, I might have a couple little tiny stones come through the fire. And that, maybe something I can actually blow on the ashes just a little bit and still see something. And he talks in here about, I knew you were a strict master, and I don't think that's true. I think if you have that attitude, you're going to be judged by your own words and by your own attitudes. And if you think God is a certain way, then he's probably going to judge you that way. I found him to be merciful and gracious. And I think that his measuring system is going to be way different. That he's going to give us so much more than we deserve, than we've earned. We're going to get credit for things we shouldn't get credit for in our mind. And there's other things, though, that I think we're not going to get credit for that we think maybe we had the wrong motive. He's going to see the exact truth of it. I think in that reward, he's generous. Because he's a generous God. He's a gracious God. And he's worthy of everything he's given us, and more, and more, and more. It's not a judgment of discipline. It's not a judgment of who can get in. It's a reward judgment. It's a reward judgment. And it affects our eternal status, not whether we're in heaven, but maybe where we live, maybe our job, maybe our clothes, maybe whatever. Maybe our capacity to worship God. Maybe we'll get a better seat, at the banquet. I don't know. But it's going to be good. It's going to be worth it, whatever it is. Whatever his reward is, it's worth it. So check yourself. Check yourself. You can't undo your past. You can't go back and undo the money and time you've wasted or the talents you've wasted. But you can start right now. You can pull out that talent. Say, Lord, I screwed it up and I've wasted a lot. Forgive me for my waste. Here's my talent. Show me how I can use it. I want to abide in you. I want to fill my mind with your word. I want you to be glorified in my every being, every existence, my every thought, my every action. Show me how I can use this mina. Show me what my minas are for your glory. And I'll trust you to be generous in the rewards. Thank you that you're good to me. Thank you, Lord. And there's people this morning, Lord, that are watching me or whenever they're watching us. Thank you for them, Lord. Bless them. You guys, wish you could be out here. This is a wonderful place to be. There's nobody around because it's kind of actually closed. I snuck in. But we're up here. My wife's doing some schoolwork. She's doing some soil testing for her science class. It's a lab. And I came up here to be with her and spend time with you. So love you. Thank you for all the kind support that you've given me, and I hope you have a great week and be blessed. And Lord willing, if we are still here and I'm able to do it, we'll have it again next week. All right. God bless you guys. And that's all, folks.